We perform our invisibility. Invisibility becomes visible in our bodies. We perform our invisibility. Invisibility becomes visible in our bodies.
We perform our invisibility. Invisibility becomes visible in our bodies. Poetry is a phenomenon that happens off-site, improvised, spoken and embodied, in motion and in music and in silence. Poetry is a phenomenon that happens off-site, improvised, spoken and embodied, in motion and in music and in silence. Poetry is a phenomenon that happens off-site, improvised, spoken and embodied, in motion and in music and in silence. Many mediate a something twisted posture is one that has been historically humiliated. Many mediate a something twisted posture is one that has been historically humiliated. Our work must be visible. Recognition of our work must remain unseen and unnoticed. Our work must be visible. Recognition of our work must remain unseen and unnoticed. Our neighbor must be made visible and recognized. Our neighbor must remain invisible and unrecognized. Our neighbor must be made visible and recognized.
The role of mediator, receptacle, body-holding body is one that has been historically gendered female. The role of mediator, receptacle, body-holding body is one that has been historically gendered female.
Through the frame of performance, we gain access to an entirely different set of conversations and resources.
Through the frame of performance, we gain access to an entirely different set of conversations and resources.
Ending linguistic superiority, patience requires huge resources and willingness to cooperate or in other ways that are not always comfortable.
Ending linguistic superiority, patience requires huge resources and willingness to cooperate or in other ways that are not always comfortable. Progressive movements and social justice organizations' language is used to divide and conquer. Evening progressive movements and social justice organizations' language is used to divide and conquer.
Interpreters can connect people and objects because our main job is to listen and guidance, and our bodies are a means of communication, and we will actively work on breaking down linguistic hierarchy to become a reality in space and time.
Interpreters can connect people and objects because our main job is to listen and guidance, and our bodies are a means of communication, and we will actively work on breaking down linguistic hierarchy to become a reality in space and time.
The interpreter poem rejects the role of singular visibility.
The poet rejects heroic singular visibility.
The interpreter poet rejects heroic singular visibility.
The interpreter poet rejects heroic singular visibility.
Classic is too often misunderstood, focused on the inadequacy of impropriety. Interpretation is not the real thing, yet language is always a version. Thoughts and what the speaker says no more than what he says.
Superiority patience requires huge resources and willingness to cooperate, or in other ways that are not always comfortable.
We are not to be trusted, for we can twist meanings at any point.
We are not to be trusted, for we can twist meanings at any point.
We are not to be trusted, for we can twist meanings at any point.
Through the frame of performance, we gain access to an entirely different set of conversations and resources. Through the frame of performance, we gain access to an entirely different set of conversations and resources.
Poetry is a phenomenon that happens off-site, improvised, spoken and embodied, in motion and in music and in silence. Poetry is a phenomenon that happens off-site, improvised, spoken and embodied, in motion and in music and in silence.
George No expression delightfully original intent presence classic is too often misunderstood, focused on the inadequacy of impropriety. Interpretation is not the real thing, yet language is always a version. Thoughts and what the speaker says no more than what he says. George No expression delightfully original intent presence classic is too often misunderstood, focused on the inadequacy of impropriety. Interpretation is not the real thing, yet language is always a version. Thoughts and what the speaker says no more than what he says. Our labor must be made visible and recognized. Our labor must remain invisible and unrecognized. Our labor must be made visible and recognized. Our labor must remain invisible and unrecognized.